Alright, how's it going, everybody? Justin here. So, I was scrolling through my timeline today on Facebook, just chilling, and I came across Canon's announcement of their first 4K mirrorless DSLR. Okay, maybe Canon finally did it. I am a die-hard Canon lover. Canon AE1 film camera shooting 5D Mark III, Canon 70D shooting. Always been Canon. That's just always been my thing. But Canon has always been behind. Always, always, always. It's so disappointing to see that. I love their cameras. I love the ergonomics. I love the colors. I just love the user interface. I love just everything about the cameras. It just feels natural to me. But Canon is always lagging behind, and it's just getting so much more apparent with all the Sonys coming out. And so to see an announcement of 4K mirrorless, I thought it was finally time. I was like, okay, Canon 2018 is going to be their year. First, before I get to how I feel about it, let's run down some of the specs here. It's the Canon EOS M50. It's a APS-C size sensor, 24.1 megapixels, Digic 8 imaging processor. It actually uses a new RAW format called CR3. So apparently Canon decided to change the format because they can fit a little bit more information in there. So I mean, anything to fit more information into a RAW file, I'm all for it. 99 autofocus points. With supported lenses, it actually goes up to 143 autofocus points. There's improved tracking, eye detection autofocus, so it focuses directly on the eyes. Actually does have high-speed shooting up to 10 frames per second. In-body image stabilization. That's a big one. It's got an EVF, electronic viewfinder. Might be a bit of a drain on the battery. The shot life is actually pretty low. It's under 300 shots. But most cameras nowadays, if you're shooting completely with just live view, your battery life is gonna suck. It has a 3-inch screen, the vari-angle screen that flips out, twists around, and all that. So I mean, definitely, that's a good aspect for if you're vlogging. Just for film in general, if you're trying to shoot portrait mode, that kind of thing, it gives you a couple of options so that you can still see what you're shooting. Now, on to the stuff that matters the most to me, because I was thinking, okay, a 4K mirrorless camera, it's light, it would be perfect for vlogging, right? Some of the specs: it shoots 4K video, 24 frames per second, 1080 full HD video, up to 60 frames per second, 720 at 120 frames per second. I mean, that's completely useless for most people nowadays, at least if you're doing vlogging, that kind of stuff. 1080 is kind of the standard. 4K is a bit much for most people. If you're vlogging, it's not really that important right now. But 720, that's a little bit low, unfortunately. And this killed me because I was like, okay, Canon's finally done it. They finally did it. Yeah, dude, they finally did. Nope, they didn't. They did not do it. 4K video has a crop. Yeah, exactly. I can hear the size. It's just like the 5D Mark IV, where the 4K video does have a crop. The only difference here is that it's an APS-C sensor. So with the crop sensor already in the camera, you got 1.6 times crop, and then the 4K adds another crop on top of that crop. So you go from having, you know, a 15 to almost like a 35. Which is a drastic difference if you're trying to vlog. Now, if you're not vlogging and you're just doing film work, more power to you. And it definitely, it's definitely capable for that. It's capable for photography, that kind of thing. But if you're vlogging, it's a bit too tight. It's kind of like being like right here all the time. It's just way too much. One more death blow, as if the 4K crop wasn't enough. It has dual pixel autofocus, which is fantastic. The 70D has dual pixel autofocus, and I mean, if you'll excuse the noise of my lens that I haven't upgraded yet, you'll see it's actually pretty good. Fantastic, right? If you're shooting in 4K, no dual pixel autofocus. So, yeah, exactly. Makes no sense. No dual pixel autofocus on the 4K, a crop on the 4K. It sucks. That just absolutely sucks. It's 2018. You gotta get it together. You have to have these features if you're trying to be cutting edge. Canon is losing their edge to Sony, and I really want to see them bring it back around. At the end of the day, if the tool that I need to get the job done is a Sony, I will gladly switch. Luckily for me, I'm shooting 1080. So pretty much the whole Canon gamut will cover everything that I need. If you're moving forward in 4K and you're trying to get something that's not as expensive as, 1DX Mark II, if you're trying to find, affordable 4K that has a wide enough angle that works, you got a Lumix G7, right? The Panasonic Lumix G7. Renowned camera for being fantastic for 4K. Not all that great for vlogging because of how tight the crop is. Beautiful camera. It's $500, and that pretty much does the trick of exactly what this 4K camera is trying to do right now. The G7 is a micro four thirds camera, but still you can shoot 4K. It's amazing. Look up videos. If you don't believe me, it is. Oh my God, I came so close. I was getting ready to buy the G7 actually before I decided to purchase the 70D. Only reason I got a 70D is because I'm a wedding photographer and I needed a second body. I bought a 5D Mark III back in December and I needed a second body that wasn't my 450D, so I had to go with the 70D because I wasn't trying to buy 2 sets of glass. If all I was doing was video, I would have went with the G7. The unfortunate part though is just the crop and the loss of the dual pixel autofocus. Those are like, what? They're killing me because every time they put something out, it's like, we're gonna give you the world, and then you look at the details and there's a little asterisk down at the bottom that says world not included. Just put out something that people want. 100% what people want. You know what people want. I can tell you what people want. People want 4K with no crop, 60 FPS 4K, 120 FPS 1080, no crop, dual pixel autofocus through all those ranges. They want that. Put a camera out that does that, that's affordable. That's what people want. I understand if they put out something that does all that and they don't charge an arm and a leg for it, it's going to kill the even higher end DSLRs, but it's what people want. You got the G7 that is fully capable. You've got the GH5. You've got the GH5, whatever the next one is that's coming out. You've got all these other cameras that are slowly creeping in. They're going to start chipping away at Canon's lead, and it's unfortunate to see that they're unwilling to put out what people want. You got to put out products for the consumers, and unfortunately this one is just, it's not for the consumers. It's literally a camera Canon's putting out that has a 4K badge just to get people to look at it, but then surprise, the 4K is almost completely useless in most cases. For us, it's not gonna work, unfortunately. But that's just my thought on it. Now, do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm wrong? You have something to say back? Am I completely off base here in saying that this camera is just a waste of time? Because I think it's a waste of time. I think it's a complete waste of R&D, that it's missing the mark on what people want. If you disagree, or if you agree, either one, let me know down in the comments. What camera are you shooting with today? Did you switch from Canon to something else? Let me know down in the comments. I want to hear your stories, because I'm still with Canon, but if there's a better option, if I can sell my whole entire kit and move to something else that works better for me as a wedding photographer who is also a vlogger, I'm all for it. Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. If you want to see more of this stuff, I'm going to be following the news. I'm going to be putting out a lot of videos related to that, but I've also got reviews and just kind of general photography industry stuff that I'm going to be putting out. If that sounds even remotely like not completely boring to you, go ahead and subscribe. If you're really loving the videos, tap that bell so that way you'll actually get notified when I post videos, so you can be one of the first ones to get here and type in first like it's 2014. Yay. That's all that I have for you today. I'm Justin Adams, and until next time. This is Hunter. This is Hunter. She's like 1,000 pounds, but she's my favorite cat. She hates when I pick her up. Oh God, she's breaking loose. Okay, see you later.